Greetings everyone, and Great here for another Days of Wind Tiny Wars replay. Spawn bottom right side as the, what is it, it's technically a black or dark gray as the IDS color. Penny, we got EvilAnge. Spawn left side as the red Snowind, we got Benchwarmer2. I wonder what happened to the first Benchwarmer. Let's see what's taken out. Either way, both of these COs are slightly different. One is completely custom. One CO radius, standard CO expansion zone, standard max energy. Nothing too crazy there. She's the one I like to call an airborne, a paratrooper specialist. You know, she does not look at it whatsoever. Her little gimmick is not only she can help refuel ammo and fuel at the beginning of each turn, but she can also forward deploy out infantry and mechs. Basically, you build a infantry or mech, and choose one of your bases, set them to no production status, means they can't build, so effectively you build forward, deploy out a infantry or mech on the front line next to your CO. And over here, and for her, she both has power and superpower. They both do cost the same, if I remember correctly. Yeah, entry cost 60-60. This one is quite simple. You get a 3-range missile, deals 5 HP damage, similar to Storm's Meteor, which I believe that's technically, yeah, I think that's pretty close to Storm's Meteor. I can't say I've ever seen this one deployed in a field. I usually see the other power gets deployed in a field. And you would imagine a 5 HP meteor or missile strike would be very powerful, but in the other superpower is you get to do the paratrooper effect, but of any military unit on any map, or any town, or any town next to your CO with any sort of military unit on the field. When air or ground unit produce a property gains no protection status, so you can forward deploy anything. Suitable locations to meet other conditions. Adjacent CO not occupied other units, and units produced can move to location. It's also unweighted, so you can forward deploy in all your factories for that turn. You also do have for a day-to-day as well, plus 30% offensive defense and the 1 tower around it. She's very similar to Tabitha if you think about it, with the capability here, but overall she is a very powerful CO based on C. Able to forward deploy infantry mechs is so powerful. And of course, here's Penny. Penny is slightly buffed from her cartridge variant, gets additional 5% offensive defense for her CO zone from 10% to the default 10% to 15%. And she, of course, the random weather she creates does last for 3 turns. I have no idea what it is for normal cartridge. I have a feeling, just beyond the CO power, she is very strong and more likely to edge out a victory, because forward deploying infantry units as a passive is incredibly powerful. Hence why I call her a paratrooper. On this map, we do have 2 calm towers. Both seem to be contestable, but a lot of wasteland here, so it's harder for this player to go this way, this player to go this way. Decent amount of properties in the middle of the map. No fog of war. We do have an uncaptured airport for both sides. No temp airport. No nothing else. We got a bit of water here if you want to relax and enjoy the beach. And we do also have a neutral base back here, which is probably something both players can try to capture as quickly as possible to get extra production queues going. Additionally, both players not only have an HQ, but also additional city for a little of extra funding. So let's go ahead and let the game continue. Or start. You can see that symbol there. Based on whenever she builds an infantry or mech unit, it does provide that little status effect there, preventing you from building anything else into the base. Hence why when you forward deploy something, it does consume a base. Or factory in this game. She has deployed out her CO unit in a standard infantry unit. And we can take a look when it gets to her turn as the little bit of the gimmicks around this. You see here if I were to click right here, or I guess I can't as the observer because I can click on this but I can't necessarily do it right here. So from the replay, it may not be available for me to really showcase. Just keep an eye. And you can see she forward deployed an infantry unit there. So it looks like it went right there, not right there. I wonder if I click on the unit, if that's how you do it from the browser. Because I were to I just let it play. I wonder if you click build, it teleports to the CO. Not really sure how it works from the replay viewer. It may be one of those things I can't explain. Then we got double infantry here. One infantry does get forward deployed, and tanks out here as well. So we've got a tank now deployed in the field. So with this, she gets a good amount of infantry in the front line very quickly, at really no additional cost other than her loading of a CO unit into an infantry unit. Now she's able to capture a lot of pressure. She's got a mech there because why not forward deploy a mech? They're slow and now they're paratrooped on the front line. Airport's captured by red. Black or gray will capture up that airport as well. Empty missile silos do provide 2 defense like any other property in this game. Does get a good shot down the CO unit, but losing is not a massive issue. After all, it's just a infantry unit. Of course, she can read forward and merge there. Decides to shoot him. Falls back a little bit there. Her power's at 2. Penny's at 8. Or Mr. Bearer's power, I should say. More mechs, artillery piece, and a tank here. Another infantry unit or bike there. My voice is just a little bit scratchy at the moment, my apologies. Comm tower being seized. Red already has his comm tower. Mech took some damage there. Need here push way forward. Another tank there, another tank. Good strike on the infantry unit. Cleans on up with the CO unit. And that unit as well. Of course, no CO power from that. Only at 4 energy, nothing too significant at the moment. I think that's one time where I can't rely on the autoplay. I have to manually click the play button. More mechs in the mountains. And she's able to really use mechs because it's forward deploy. And this map does have a decent amount of mountains in the middle of the map, so this map seems pretty good for mech play. Goes back to tanks. Here is on the field, of course, but no aircraft for it to shoot down, but still useful against infantry. Got a line of infantry here, probably to avoid bike fire. I suppose not entirely. But it's like chess. They can diagonally protect each other. Bit of resupply there. Does affect the CO unit as well. Tank gets good strike on the recon. There's nothing here to stop a tank. More tanks now being deployed in the field. And there is no way for me to reduce the sound effect of the clicking sound from me hitting the next turn button. I really wish that was an option. Good strike there. That infantry unit will get picked on off. Only 4 energy? I thought she would have more energy by now. Looks like her energy generation's a little bit slow, but that could be because of what she's been hitting. The radius is so small, it's hard to get good energy generation when the radius is so small. The red has a good amount of infantry units there. Start progressing towards his opponents. Well, the HQ is right there. So could start threatening that a little bit. Good strike there. Falls on up. Gets another good hit there. Energy generation's at 15. so 25% to our superpower. Now the artillery is in a good position. She's threatening the infrastructure down here, even the HQ is right there. Mech's lacking behind, which means she has good defense behind her. She has quite a bit of a ball of tanks, an anti-tank, and rocket. Rocket may not be the greatest of options, though could pick off some mechs. The rocket just seems a little bit too slow. Rocket is something you don't usually deploy out all too often. I don't think the rocket was a good idea. Opponent's starting to pull out some anti-tank or battle copters. Some infantry push forward, so it can just flood the zone with a bunch of not great targets for the rocket. It's on top of a property, so it means get some resupplies. Now the CO zone's increased, that makes it a lot easier to use. And plus 30% offense and defense is quite significant. Good strike there. Takes out a couple of these units. What a wet weather would be great. With the amount of infantry on the field, maybe winter wouldn't be half bad for Mr. Bear to summon. Winter reduced move speed of everything. There's a full bomber. Penny's just wants the big bombs. I think right now for the superpower for Penny, Bomber, Winter doesn't seem half bad to me, since a lot of stuff here, mechs would just get 1 movement speed, which is horrible for them. 3 turns of 1 less movement speed with this many units could be quite effective. 30% less firepower is always generally pretty nice with Sandstorm. And then Fog of War could be interesting for the rocket and other indirect fire units, since Rain will reduce their vision not only down to enable Fog War, but their vision will be reduced down to minimum 1, allowing the indirect fire to be very aggressive. And Snowind has not deployed out any sort of flare. Almost enough power for superpower for Snowind as well. I don't know why I keep on contract called Stormwind. But this red spot of fighters, so I have something to counter the bomber. Not sure if that was the greatest target attack there. It's down to 1 health now, so not even if you can take out the meteorite. I would imagine just doing something else, like hit anything else here would be good. That may have been a misclick. Great damage there. Penny's probably almost at her superpower. Nope. Battle Corps charging way forward. Yep, going for all these high-tech units means we have nothing to stop all the battle copters and all the mechs are there. Yeah, right now Penny needs to squeeze out a winter storm with her superpower. No, there's nothing to stop all these battle copters. 17 units versus 35. Rocket falls back. Rain could be also helpful as well for reduced vision. Yeah, this game's probably gonna be pretty over pretty quickly. The rocket's going to go down. There's the superpower. Fighter could have finished off the bomb. That may have been a misclick there. Penny just needs a little bit more power charge. Not iron for the power charge. Now she has her... Nope, needs a little bit more. Now has her superpower. She has to pop it. Snow will reduce everything's movement speed by 1. These mechs now move at 1 tile. Infantry moving down to 2 tiles. This will slow down Red's army significantly. This is actually what I think Black needed, or Gray. But I'm not sure what superpower that was. I see no 5 points of damage, so we'll probably see a bunch of unweighted... Yep, got some unweighted units now being put on the field. So 17,000 remaining. The CO units right here. There's a rocket, ambush spawn rocket. She can at least make use of rockets. Yep, this game's pretty much over. Yep. Penny should not have deployed out the rocket, and the bomber was not good enough to follow up. In fact, the first strike of the rocket for the bomber was onto the meteorite, which was not a good call. She got swarmed by, mostly by battlecopters, and now there's a swarm of tanks and artillery in her base. She needs her own battlecopters, but there's now also a fighter and duster in the field as well. CO units now capturing up the HQ. How fitting. Yeah, right now Penny's down to 6 units, and Snowind's at 35. Yeah, just because the unit's large and powerful doesn't mean it's a good option. And now Snowind has brought out her own bomber, which is going to be very useful. And Penny does back the game there. This is Android saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay.